Good morning, everybody, from Central Texas, here in the booming metropolis of Blooming Grove. Yep. It's Wednesday. Man, Wednesday. This week is flying by. This year is flying by. It's the month of June, and what that means is we're 6 months into this thing, into this year. And what that means is sometime next month you're going to start seeing Christmas in the stores. It's crazy, right? But rained yesterday, which is really weird. So I think we're done with the rain for a bit. That's kind of good news, but there's still puddles of water everywhere around here, and which is not too big a deal. But it's going to be 90 plus degrees here today, so that's like a sauna. I mean, it's just miserable. 90 degrees with, I don't know what the humidity level is going to be. It's just going to be miserable. But it is what it is. It's Wednesday, which means we're halfway through this week. And tonight we have midweek Bible study and prayer meeting. So, if you don't have a church that you attend, we'd love to have you at Ambassador Baptist Church in Ennis, Texas. If you're in the Central Texas area, that's where I'll be tonight. I love our church. We just don't call it Bible study and prayer meeting. We actually have Bible study and prayer meeting. We actually have prayer meeting. We actually have prayer time. We spend about 15 to 20 minutes every Wednesday night on our knees. And I mean that, whole congregation. Whoever shows up, we divide up. Ladies go one way, men go the other, and if we have large groups, we even divide up into smaller groups. But we spend about 15, 20 minutes actually praying on our knees on Wednesday nights. And then Doc, we call him Doc, Dad, to me, has been going through the book of Revelation on Wednesday night. And man, it's good stuff. If we ever needed to learn something that's in this day and time. And so it's applicable to hear that right now. So Dad's going through that series, and it's really, really good stuff. Well, let's get into it this morning. In my morning reading, gleanings from this morning's reading, I read chapters 36 through 40 in Exodus. If you haven't caught on Exodus, some of these chapters are really lengthy. But I've been trying to read about 5 chapters a day, a morning, in the book of Exodus. And so we closed out the book of Exodus this morning, and in reading chapters 36 through 40. And this handful of chapters is all about a man by the name of Bezalel. And Bezalel was recruited by Moses to do all of the craftsmanship of all the woodwork, all of the the gold engraving, all of the tapestry, everything that went into the tabernacle. And if you read these chapters, I mean, there's just huge, great detail given. There's specific instructions given by God on how to set up the tabernacle, what kind of furniture to put in the tabernacle, from the candlesticks to the table of showbread to the Ark of the Covenant to everything that's involved from the excuse me, the manufacturing of the poles, the staves, the rings. I mean, just huge detail in how this is to be done. And I wonder if Bezalel at any time during this process, or if anybody that was helping, anybody that was recruited to help do the work at any time during this process, had this thought: what are we doing? I mean, is it worth it? What are we doing? Why are we killing ourselves to do all this work? I mean, what's it for? Why do we, I mean, come on, Bezalel. I mean, is it really that important to have such intricate detail I mean, is it really important that we be perfect on all this stuff? Is it why are we doing all this? And then on top of that, when we're done, you're telling me that every time we move, we got to tear this thing down, pack it up, load it up, carry it across that mountain? You mean I got to carry all this stuff by hand across that desert? And then when we get where we're going, we're going to set it back up again and leave it up for a little bit, and then we're going to tear it back down, and then we're going to set it back up and tear it back down. And I mean, is it worth it? You know, all this work. I mean, it just seems like a lot of work for nothing. And then I read these verses. In chapter 40, verse 33, it says, this is Moses speaking. It says, and he reared up the court round about the tabernacle and the altar and set up the hanging of the court gate. So Moses finished the work. Then a cloud covered the tent of the congregation, and the glory of the Lord filled the tabernacle. I mean, is it worth it? Let me ask you something. Here's your thought of the day to chew on. Sunday's coming. I mean, is it worth it? Is it worth it, preacher, Sunday school teacher, to do all this studying and preparation? I mean, is it worth it to you folks that are on staffs of churches, to go in there and spend all this time cleaning the church, cleaning the pews, cleaning the bathrooms, getting Sunday school classrooms ready, getting the fellowship hall ready for breakfasts and coffees and cakes and whatever's going on in your church? I mean, is it worth it? I mean, is it worth it, lady, that, you know, woman? Is it worth it that you got to get up, you got to get all the kids ready, you got to get all the clothes ready, you got to get lunch ready, you got to get all this stuff ready, and you got to take a bath, you got to do your hair, you got to put all your pretty on, you know, got to get your party on, you got to get all that makeup on, you got to look good, and I mean, you spend all this time and all this effort and all these hours into preparing for what seems like just an hour or two of church. Is it worth it? I mean, is it really, really worth it? Well, let me answer that question. Is it worth it when the glory of God shows up? I'm just saying. Is it worth it when those altars are full on Sunday morning? Is it worth it? Is it worth it if just one soul gets saved this Sunday? It's just something to think about this morning. I can't help but think that all the work the children of Israel put in, all that time, all that effort, all that setup, all that tear down, but man, when God came down and the glory of God fell on that place and it filled with smoke and it was a cloud by day and a fire by night, and they got just a small glimpse of the glory of God, I think Bezalel and a few folks in that group of people, as far as the Israelites go, the children of Israel, I imagine there's a few folk that said, wow, yeah, it's worth it. It's worth it. And I'm telling you this morning, whatever you do to prepare yourself to meet with God, it's worth it. I promise you that. Okay. That's my thoughts for this morning. Hey, I got to go. I got a busy day, but it is Wednesday, and I hope you have a great day. Love to see you at Ambassador Baptist Church tonight. If you can't come be with us, man, go somewhere. Find some place to be in church tonight. Get those batteries recharged. I promise you, we need it. I need it. You need it. So it's good stuff. Find some place to go tonight. It's hump day. Best thing about Wednesday, besides the fact you get to go to church, it's the day before Thursday, which is the day before Friday, which is, pizza night and day before the weekend. Listen, hey, I love you guys. One quick thing, though. One quick thing. I'm started this, I think, last week. It's just on the Ambassador Baptist Church Facebook page, okay? every Sunday morning at 9 a.m. I am doing what is called Growing Ambassador. Growing Ambassador. The story behind Ambassador Baptist Church, the merging of two churches, and the story behind those two churches, and how our church is growing, and how God is just blessing the church, and things that are happening. Guys, I can't even begin. Time will not even let me get into it. But Growing Ambassador, every Sunday morning, 9 a.m., I'll be live. And in a series, just an ongoing podcast, whatever you call it, Facebook Live series, documentary, whatever you want to call it, called Growing Ambassador, where I'm sharing stories with you about how God has used the merging of those two churches, and things I've learned in the ministry. Things I've learned in the ministry. This is not a doctrinal debate type thing. I'm not even getting into really doctrines. This is basic church business and everyday life, and how we have how God is blessed in things that we do just in the everyday operations of the church. I think it'll be fun. Tell some funny stories, and it'll be a blessing, I hope. Sunday mornings, 9 a.m. live on Facebook on the Ambassador Baptist Church channel. Thanks, guys. Gotta go. Have a great day.